Hi, this is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. Welcome to the lesson. In lesson number 42, we looked at how to play a walking bass line. And in this lesson, we're going to look more deeply at the 12-bar blues sequence, and we're going to learn how to play blues turnarounds. In this video, I'm going to play all these examples in the key of A. Now, this is the same key as I used in the walking bass lines video and video number 43, which is the blues backing track. So we've got them all in the same key, in the key of A. This way you can use all three videos to work on your walking and blues bass lines. Remember to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and remember you can get the PDF of this lesson by following the link in the description box below. That will be really useful, and you can see all the exercises that I do in this video. There are many types of turnarounds that you can play within the blues sequence, and I'm going to show you the more common ones in this lesson. Make sure you watch this video lesson all the way through, because we'll be building and making more interesting turnarounds as we go through the lesson. And also at the end I'll show you how to add more drive to your turnarounds. As I said, turnarounds can be found throughout the blues sequence, but the most common place to find a turnaround is at the end, in the last two bars or measures. So in the key of A, the last two bars are either 2 bars of A7 or a bar of A7 and then a bar of E7. So I'll now show you the first example, which is how to play a turnaround over just A7, so just chord 1 for both the bars. Now for all these examples in this video, I'm going to play the last 4 bars of a 12-bar sequence. So we've got E7, D7, A7, and then either A7 or E7. Over the E7 and the D7, I'm going to play this bass line, which is a shuffle blues bass line, quite a common bass line you'll hear. So it's the same pattern on both chords. And then I'll go to the turnaround. So as you can hear, I just stayed on A7 for those last 2 bars. Now if you look at the PDF, you'll notice that I've written swing fill at the start of the examples. And that means that the 8ths are swung. So you play the 8th notes like this. Swung 8th notes are... If there were straight 8th notes, they'd sound like this. So they'd be even. So straight, swung, and that's a sort of shuffle feel. For those of you who are interested, this essentially means that one beat is split into 3 and we're playing the first and the third. So this is a really common blues feel, a shuffle feel, and you would have heard me play that for the E7 and the D7. Now we're going to move on to using A7 and E7 in our turnarounds, and we're going to use those for the rest of the examples because this is more common. A7 is called 1 and E7 is called 5. So if we play an A scale, that's the 5th note is the E, so that's chord 5, so E7, and that leads naturally back. It wants to lead back to the A7 for the start of the next 12 bars. Now I've called this exercise push to chord 5. We've already established that chord 5 is an E7, and a push is when you play just before the beat. So in this case we're going to play just before beat 3, so we're going to play on 2 and. So 1, 2 and, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. I'll now play example 3, which is another way to push to chord 5. What we're doing in this example is we're stepping up chromatically to chord 5, to the E7. So we're stepping up from D, D sharp, E. So a chromatic is a note that isn't found in the scale of that chord. So, and we're going to use this push now for the rest of the examples. Now we're going to make E7, the first bar of the turnaround, more interesting. We're going to step up to the E7, push. The first beat of this is A, and then we play C sharp, which is the third of A7, and then we step up again chromatically, D, D sharp, E. Now we can also step down from A7, so I'll play that for you now. So we start on the A, which is the octave higher, 8 notes higher. An octave is 8 notes higher, so if you're playing A scale, that's an A major scale, we end up on this A. So we're going to step down from the A. And we're playing A, G, which is the 7th of A7. Then F sharp, F, E. And that's a chromatic step down. So you've got two possibilities there, stepping up from the A, stepping down from the A. In the last example, we're going to stay on A7 to E7, but we're going to use the shuffle feel throughout the whole turnaround. So for this one, we're using a descending pattern, but you can use the ascending pattern if you want. But and that gives more drive that I was talking about at the beginning of the lesson. It gives more movement to your bass line and makes it more interesting. It's a bit more interesting than just stepping down with quarter notes. So we can use this shuffle throughout the whole bass line. Practice all these exercises until you've really got to grips with them, and then you can try them at the end of the 12-bar blues sequence. So I'm going to keep a backing track running. I'm going to play a few choruses over it with a shuffle feel. So this backing track is more of a Chicago shuffle blues feel. Video number 43, which is a blues backing track, that's got more of a swing feel, so more of a slightly more jazz feel to it. You can try all these lines over both and see what you prefer. Also remember, you can look at my video number 42, how to play a walking bass line, which will help you with some more ideas. Some really good tracks for you to listen to in this style to give you more ideas are Dust My Broom by Elmore James, I'm Tore Down, Freddie King, Pride and Joy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Every Day I Have the Blues, B.B. King. I'll write these in the description box below, and you can look them up and have a good listen. So I will make a video on some of these classic blues tracks to show you some of the walking lines that they play. So remember to subscribe to my channel so you get all these new videos as they come out. It'd be great if you could leave some feedback on this video. You can like it, share it, or leave a comment below. If you leave a comment, I'll make sure that I answer that, so you can ask me any questions or just tell me how you got on with the video, whether you liked it, whether you've got any more ideas of videos you'd like me to do. You can also see more of my resources and all my videos at gregsbassshed.com. I've put this link in the description box below, and remember you can get the free PDF of this lesson. That would be really useful. You've got all the exercises written out. I've also put them with tab. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'll see you for the next one. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed.